Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500 and welcome back to day 3 on the white pop. So today, among a few other things, I've got the hinges, the bonnet hinges. So I'm going to put those on now, or rather I'm going to take the old ones off. Got to remove the bonnet, got to remove the old hinges and put these new ones on. I haven't got a bonnet still, unfortunately. So I can't put a new bonnet on. I'm going to have to put this one back on for the time being. But welcome back and off we go. Before I start, I just remembered that someone commented on the last video that I don't know if they've been watching my videos back to back, but they were saying the time-lapse music was doing their head in. So for this one, I'm going to change the time-lapse music, something a bit more pleasing. I don't know. I've had a good look through all the music that's available and I've just picked a few at random. So I'm going to use one of those for the time being. Let me know what you think. Yeah, that's the wing on. Lovely jubbly. As you'll see around here, there's another bumper randomly lying on the driveway. There's a 500X. I'll quickly show you. Part of the bumper has been cracked ever since I bought it and I've never bothered doing it. I've had the part for about a year or so and I thought at long last I'm going to do it. So I'm doing that now. I'm going to do a video on the 500X anyway soon, so we'll feature this bit in there as well. But yeah, this is starting to come together. Still got to get a bonnet, another bonnet, and still got to either repair or sort out what I'm going to do with the bumper. But at least that's the wing on now. It's not the best wing in the world. It's going to need a little bit of touching up here and there, but it'll do. It's on. That's the main thing. Right, as you saw, I just took the bonnet off there. So what I'm going to do to start with, that keeps getting stuck where it's bent. I had to force that out. So as you can see, this piece is bent. I think it's bent sideways as well, so it's well and truly knackered. The other side is probably okay, but I'm going to change the pair as soon as I've got the pair. What I'll do is I'll throw this one away. I'll throw this one away because this one's definitely bent. But the other side I'm going to keep. I won't keep it to sell it. I'll keep it to use for myself or try on another car should I need to. But I don't think it's bent. It may be to a degree, but I'm going to keep it anyway just in case. So right, let's get on taking these off. We've got 10mm nuts. What I'm going to do first of all, with a marker pen, I'm going to go around the shape of the hinge to make sure when we put the new hinge on, we get it on in the correct position. It is easier if you take all this off, but I'm going to try and do it without doing that because it's easier basically. So we'll give it a go anyway and see if I can get it off with a spanner. You can't get a socket on it, it's just too awkward, so we'll do it with the spanner. ages getting those two bolts out, and I just cannot get to that one at the back. So I'm going to have to take this scuttle panel off, which is a bloody nuisance, but needs to be done. So we'll get that off. So I've got to take the wipers off, take the panel off, and then we can get to that bolt much easier. Oh look, I just found a bonnet bolt underneath there. What on earth's that doing there? Oh well, anyway, so now I should have done this to start with really. It's a lot easier to get that out now. So you can sort of manoeuvre the bracket out of the way. I think the other side, if I remember rightly, the other side is easier than this. It's still awkward to get a socket in there. Just about get it in there. Oh no, you can turn it such a tiny amount. Let's try the spanner. It's so awkward. Oh, I've got to cut myself again, that makes a change. Every time I do anything in a car, I seem to cut myself. Very awkward. I don't think there's any easy way of doing this. Oh, look at the blood pouring down my fingers, look. No, I just can't get that to... We'll get it off eventually, it'll go on time lapse anyway. Right, at last, it's off. Wow, what a pain those things are. This is not my favourite job, I have to say. Right, if I compare it to the new one, that's the other side. We'll compare it, see if we can tell where it's bent. Not sure you'll be able to. If I put it up against there, well, it doesn't really show. It's difficult to see. Am I looking at the right one? No, I'm looking at the wrong one again, aren't I? That was if you look at the same one. No, so you can't really see that it's bent, apart from... yeah. No, it's quite difficult to see. Don't want to get them mixed up, obviously. Right, that's the old one, check that. As you can see there, that one completely misses the tip there, whereas the other one hits it. So I suppose the other one is pushed that way. But we'll get this one on, and then we'll do the other side. The other side is easier. There's you haven't got the mechanism for the windows. The what do you call them? Window wipers. You haven't got the mechanism for that, the motor, so it doesn't get in the way. So you've got to clear. Should have done that side first. But anyway, let's get this one, and then we can move on to the other side. Right, that one's on. I haven't done it up very tight, because now with this scuttle panel off, when you get the bonnet on, obviously normally when you put a bonnet on you've got some movement in the actual what do you call this? Put this up a little bit so we can see what we're talking about. You normally got some movement backwards and forwards, side to side, in the bits that go onto the actual bonnet, but when you've got the scuttle panel off, you can close the bonnet down, and if these are loose you can sort of pull them side to side or backwards and forwards to get you a little bit of extra adjustment. So at the moment they're sort of up tight-ish, but we'll put them on like that, and then we might be able to get them in there and loosen them off once the bonnet is attached to the hinge. So we're going to go around the other side and get the other one on. So I spent quite a long time fiddling about, probably about 20 minutes, moving hinges around, moving the where they connected to the actual bonnet itself. I took the rubbers out of the front of the bonnet and it didn't make any difference. So I put them in and I've wound them out a little bit because it seemed to be too low at the front, too high at the back. And I'm very nearly there now. I think some of this is to do with the fact that it's bent, but that's going to need a bit more adjustment, and same applies here. The front bit's okay and it goes up and it's just a little bit out up here. This wing can be moved in a little bit more, but obviously this is all bent over, so it's not right, but this isn't going to be the bonnet that's going to go on it. It shuts and it opens fine. The gaps around the headlights are okay. That one's maybe a little bit too big, but that headlight's not in there properly. So, and I'm thinking actually there was a little bit of a dent there in that wing. So with the damage that's on the wing here, I think I have got a wing, so I think I'm going to put a new wing on it anyway. But I'm not going to worry about that at the moment, and for the time being that'll do. I'll get that scuttle panel back on, and at least the bonnet shuts and it can be driven. Well, not driven as such, but you know what I mean. Actually no, it can be driven. Once I've sorted that headlight out, I've got to fix another headlight because that one, the screws wouldn't go in on one of the brackets, so I've just got to sort that out. So that could sort of go together, I think. Once that's all together it could actually be moved and parked somewhere else even, but it's much better. Next thing I need to do is put the bumper back on and make sure that it actually closes with the bumper on, which it should. If anything, it tends to be the headlights that stop it from shutting, or the front panel, but it is closing. Needs a bit of a push. It's nearly there, but the only thing that's as high as it will go is the bonnet catch. That won't go any higher, and it does shut okay, although it's a bit of a push, but it's not too bad. Might need a bit of final adjustment when I get the new bonnet, but it'll do for the time being. It's just a shame that this bonnet's damaged in those corners. Really annoying. So that's it. I've got the fan back in as well, a repaired fan, which is nice and sturdy. This does shut, so that's it. Not adjusted. Still takes a bit of closing, and it's not obviously left and right is not right. That's down to positioning of the bumper and so on. It's not screwed down all the way across, so it closes, even though it doesn't close properly. It still needs some adjustment, but I'm not going to bother doing that. There's no point doing that until I get the new bonnet, because I just have to do it all again. So as long as it shuts, that's the main thing for the time being. Right, this morning I've been over to Hayes in Middlesex, where I picked up a new seat. A seat which is dirty, as always, but no fag burns. So I'm going to get this out of the car, get the old seat out. I'm not going to put this one in. I'm going to clean it outside of the car, but we'll get the old one out first. As you can see there, it's quite dirty. It needs a really good clean. But importantly, there's no burns in it. That's the most important thing. As you've seen before on this one. This one's got loads of burns. One there, one there, one there, one there. 4 burns and a really black mark. So I don't know what that is. The other one's rotten as well, but at least there's no cigarette burns on the passenger one. So first thing we're going to do is get this seat. Armrest all clean, back seat's all clean, front seat clean. I better lean that forward so that can dry properly. The driver's seat is in the garden, drying out, so that's the best place for it to dry. This is a nice warm day today. These were drying probably 3 hours maybe. Once I get the other seat back in, I'll reconnect the battery and open the windows. For the time being, I'll just leave the doors ajar, I think. That'll do. Just let the air flow through and let those the armrests dry as well. That one's in the sun, which is good. Once I've got the seats back in, actually before I put the seats back in, I'm going to clean off all the overspray, at least on this side. What's the trouble with this machine? Or it's probably not the machine, it's probably the liquid that I use in it, or rather the powder, mix up powder. I suppose there's a possibility I use too much, but you get all that white residue on the overspray. next time I get some, I shall have a look at some alternative stuff to use, maybe a liquid rather than a powder. See what other people that use those machines recommend for doing seats. So yeah, so that's the old seat. Before I destroy that, I'm going to make sure the other one's okay as regards the runner and airbag and so on before I rip that one apart. So you never know, be sod's law. So yeah, once we get the seat back in, we'll come back. So I repaired that little bit of the bumper. As you can see, that's all done. I'm currently repairing the bit on the wing. So I know I said earlier that there was that little dent there, but I'm going to pull that little dent out, and I'm just repairing that little corner there. That's had 3 coats, top coat. I'm going to give it one more coat, and then I'm going to wax some clear coat on it, and then that'll be done. I just thought it was better to repair it. It just seems pointless. While I was cleaning the bumper up, which I've just done, going over that with G10, I just noticed a bit of crack in there and discoloration, and a little chip there, so I'll also do this side as well. I'm not going to do it now, but I will do this at some point. So that was the end of day 3 today. Got the seat, put the seat in, cleaned all the seats, did a bit of paintwork on the bumper and on that top of that wing. That's about it really. Obviously we did the other stuff a couple of days ago with the wing and the wing liner, and yesterday, which I don't think I filmed. No, I didn't film it. I put the repaired fan back in as well. So we're getting there now. So, oh yeah, of course we did the hinges, the bonnet hinges. So now what we need is a bonnet. The bonnet closes, as you saw, not perfectly, well, nowhere near perfectly to be fair. It's well out, but there's no point me fiddling about with it until I get a new bonnet, because once I get a new bonnet, obviously the old one comes off, new one goes on, and then we start again, so I'm wasting my time. As long as it closes, that's the main thing. So that's the end of day 3. Day 4 will probably begin tomorrow for me, later on in the week for you. There's not that much more to do now that I can really get done, apart from MOT in it. Of course, I'm not going to do that until the bonnet's done anyway, and servicing it. I'm not going to do the cam belt on this one. It's done 45,000 miles. I haven't tracked down the service history yet, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it's been done. It's had a new gearbox, I've discovered. It's got like the 1.2 whatever it is manual written on it in a pen, so it's obviously at some point it's had a second-hand gearbox put in. The brakes, I don't know if the brakes need bleeding, but when I've moved up and down the drive, it just doesn't feel, it's not spongy, but there's just a lot of pedal travel. I've had a quick look at when I did the wing, I had a look at the brake pads and they look alright, so whether it just needs to bleed or not, I don't know. So we'll have to look at that, but yeah, they're not right. But we'll get to the bottom of that, like we get to the bottom of everything. So this one's really nearly finished now. The red pop was taken to the paint shop on Tuesday. He said that I should get it back midweek this week. If I get back at the end of the week, I'll be happy. And then that's cam belt on that one. Then that'll be going for MOT, and if you remember, the steering wheel is slightly out, so I'm going to take that and get that wheel alignment done as well before the MOT. And then that'll be going up south. And yeah, then we'll be looking at yet another one. But at the moment, obviously we're concentrating on this one, getting this bonnet. So I'll be looking 2 or 3 times a day on eBay, trying to find one. There is one on there that's £189, I think. I'm not paying £189 for a bonnet, that's just crazy. Yeah, but one will come up. It's the most common colour. If I happen to sell the red one and I haven't got a bonnet, I will make sure I get a white one that I can break, and then I can use the bonnet from it. And to be honest, I do need to get a breaker really now, because I'm sort of running low on panels and stuff now, so I do need to get one. So depending on what's about, I'll get a breaker next. But yeah, so once again, thanks for watching. If you like what you've seen today, if you're a casual subscriber, hit that subscribe button down there please, and you can also hit the notification bell over there, and that will inform you when we've uploaded some more videos. So I hope you've enjoyed today's update, and we'll see you again on the next one.